Hi YouTube, it's Hoyt. I'm gonna be sharing two dreams with you guys that I had recently. So this first dream I'm gonna share with you guys was from 3 days ago, and the second dream I'm gonna share with you guys was from last night. So 3 days ago, I had a dream where I was pulling into a gas station to get some gas. And when I was pulling into the gas station, this van sped around my truck in the dream, and they were like trying to escape something. And then I saw another car chasing them, and the dude was yelling crazy stuff in this dream. He was crashing out and road raging on this guy that went around me. And in the dream, the guy in the van stopped, and the dude that was crashing out, road raging, he got out of his vehicle and he was like, "I'm gonna kill you, you mother effer, I'm gonna skin you alive." And like he was saying the craziest things ever. And he violently attacked this guy in this dream. And then there was like people, there was like a big commotion. People joined in to try to help save the guy that was getting attacked by the dude that was road raging and crashing out. And I think he got like shot or something crazy. I didn't really see exactly what happened because the dream cut. And in the dream, I actually saw like a person I know in real life. They were at the gas station. They were leaving because there was this whole crazy scene, but the cops came. And before they left, they saw me, and they rolled down the window, and they were like, "Hoyt?" And I was like, "Oh, hey, what are you doing here?" And it was this person that I saw and their partner. And I said, "Did you see that crazy guy that was crashing out?" And they said, "Yes." And I said, "Do you know why that person was crashing out?" And they said, "No." And I said, "The reason that guy was crashing out is because he took the jab, and his pineal gland is destroyed. It's calcified, hardened. So they don't, that guy, because he took the jab, he doesn't have a functioning pineal gland. And your pineal gland is very important. It's responsible for many important brain functions. Things that function in your brain on a daily basis, a lot of those functions, the pineal gland is responsible to help them function. And in particular is like mood regulation and different behavioral patterns. But without that, a person is they have no control. They can't resist the urge to do anything. So like they'll be angry, like any urge that a person could act on, there is no control there. And in this dream, that guy that took the jab was crashing out, and he violently attacked this guy at the gas station. So to put it simply, it's kind of like, imagine a person with rabies. Once a person has rabies, there is no control anymore. It's over. Once a person gets rabies, it's over. And they're gonna be extremely violent without control. It's not like it's not like they want to be violent. It's just they have no control over it. It's over. And that's exactly like what I was explaining to this person in the dream. Yeah, so everybody that took the jab, God showed me that their pineal gland is destroyed. So that was my first dream. Now, in my second dream that I had last night, it was me and Richard. We were hanging out with some people at like a little get-together thing, kind of like a picnic or something outside. And there was a bunch of people. We were just eating food and just having a good time, whatever. And in the dream, everything was normal. Everything was fine. It was a beautiful day. And then all of a sudden, I see down the street, there's like a little trailer home wherever I was, whatever state this was, I'm not really sure. And there was like a big building in the town. And all of a sudden, I see a bunch of people start coming around like this trailer home or whatever. And it was like a massive mob coming down the street. And they were pointing at us and screaming and yelling, going, "You mother effers this, you mother effers that, we're gonna kill you. They said you better run." And they were just, all of them were insane. And in the dream, they started attacking us. They had weapons and they even had guns, and they were starting to shoot at us. And basically me and Richard, we started fighting back immediately. And some of the people with us did, and some people that didn't have weapons had to run away. And then in the second part of the dream, I was like, what even was that? I said, who were those people and why were they crazy like that? But in the second part of the dream, I saw, oof, man, getting goosebumps. So the second part of the dream, I saw in my dream, the entire United States map in my dream was lit up. And I saw two groups of people in the dream. On the left side of the United States map, there's a very small group of people, just very tiny. And then on the right side of the United States, there was a huge, massive group of people. It was like the majority of the United States population. And I saw in the first group, the small group, I saw these words pop up above the group. It said unvaccinated. And then in the big group, I saw another word pop up. It said vaccinated. And in the dream, the small group on the left, the unvaccinated, they were normal. They were completely fine, completely normal, not angry, aggressive, nothing like that. And then in the huge group that said vaccinated, they were completely psychotic and insane with no control over themselves at all. And in the dream, I knew, it was just like from the first dream I shared with you guys, all the people that took the jab, their pineal gland is destroyed and they had no control over themselves. And they were extremely aggressive and they had like a hive mind. And they thought in sync, basically. And it was kind of like people with rabies, to be honest. To compare it to something, they were like people with rabies. Extremely aggressive. And all they wanted to do is attack people. And in the dream, that big group, the vaccinated, I saw in the dream of the United States map, they were running at the group of the unvaccinated to clash. And the unvaccinated had no choice but to fight back. And then in the dream, I saw like a war. It's kind of like you ever see like war movies where people are running out into a field and they're shooting cannons and it's just gunfire and just people are just dropping like crazy. That's like what it was in the dream, because the vaccinated were clashing with the unvaccinated and the unvaccinated had no choice but to fight back, and it was a war. And then the last scene of the dream, me and Richard were walking around in public, and I knew in my dream that from that point on, when people started really crashing out nationwide, that you had to be vigilant in public. You had to keep your head on a swivel. And in the dream, people are walking around with weapons and bulletproof vests, plate carriers, bulletproof helmets, boots, like tactical gear. And in the dream, me and him were walking down the street, and we were waiting for these jab people to come out of nowhere and attack us. And they did in the dream, and we were fighting back. And I knew at that point in time, society was breaking down, and it was crazy. And then I woke up. So God showed me that everybody that took the jab, their pineal gland is destroyed, and they're going to be extremely aggressive, and they are going to crash out in the future, and they're going to specifically attack the unvaccinated. And I dreamt that they have a hive mind. They all think alike. They all move in sync, and they're all equally as aggressive, and they're going to target the unvaccinated. And somehow, some way, they knew who was unvaccinated somehow, because the jab, people are injecting from the jab, they're injecting into themselves graphene oxide, metal. It is little, microbots, microchips of nanotechnology. So all these people, this is why they had the hive mind in their dream. This is why they could all think alike, like on a network, basically. That's what I saw. And yeah, that was basically my dream. So prepare for, this is what I call it. I'm gonna call these people the jabbed crash outs. And this event that's gonna happen, I'm gonna call it the jabbed crash out apocalypse. That's what I'm already gonna name this. This is gonna happen in real life. It's already happening. Me and Richard in real life have already seen people starting to crash out, even on social media too. It's because they took the jab and their pineal gland is destroyed. They've literally lost brain function, certain brain functions, because their pineal gland is responsible to help their brain function in a certain way and to be able to regulate their mood at a certain level, and that's gone. And that's basically it. Oh, and I want to share before I end this video, I also had a dream not too long ago of the zombie apocalypse. So I want to explain something to you. Anybody that took one jab is not going to be a zombie. Anybody that took 2 or more jabs is going to be a zombie. So what's going to happen? The 5G towers, they are microwave weapons, and they emit frequencies, pulses. And I've even said it in a dream before. I said the zombie apocalypse is going to start once all of the 5G towers emit a big pulse, a big frequency, all at once on the same day. Someone's just going to hit a big red button somewhere, and the 5G towers are just going to go and everybody with that metal, that nanotechnology inside of their body, anybody that took 2 or more jabs, because if you took 1 jab, you're not going to be a zombie, but if you took 2 or more jabs, you're going to be a zombie. And the 5G towers are going to pulse, and it's going to activate the nanotechnology inside people's body. Kind of imagine it like putting tinfoil in a microwave. That's what it's going to be like. And the 5G towers are like microwaves, but without a door. You know how your microwave, you can shut the door and then turn it on? A 5G tower is like a microwave without a door. All those frequencies and that microwave radiation, it's going everywhere. And it's going to microwave the people with metal in their body. They're going to get microwaved. And that metal it's probably going to burn them somehow, some way too. Because you put a fork or tinfoil in a microwave, it gets electrocuted and it just catches on fire. So I'd imagine it's going to be pretty painful. But yeah, when the towers pulse, everybody that took 2 or more jabs is going to be a zombie. But I dreamt anybody that took 1 jab, they're not going to be a zombie, but they're going to continue crashing out until the end of time. And I've seen in the zombie apocalypse, there's people still crashing out, and they all have a hive mind. But before the towers pulse that caused the zombie apocalypse, every single person that took a jab, whether it's 1 or 10 or 20, they're all going to crash out. Every single person that took the jab, they're all going to crash out. But once the towers pulse, anybody that took 2 or more, they're going to be zombies. But those that took just 1, they're going to be human, but they're just going to continue crashing out. So that kind of explains it. But yeah, the people that took a jab, they're going to crash out, and it's going to be kind of like a person with rabies, extremely aggressive and just attacking people. So I would recommend preparing yourself with weapons, because what I saw in my dream was super violent. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It was super violent, and that's coming. It's already starting. Me and Richard have seen people crashing out in public in real life. It's from the jab. So yeah, do with this information what you must, and I will see you guys in the next video. So goodbye. God bless you guys.